A young man woke up before his alarm rang, his eyes opening to the pale blue light creeping through the curtains. His name was Arav, and though he was only in his early 20s, his chest already felt heavy, as if something invisible pressed down on him every time he tried to breathe deeply. He lay still for a moment, staring at the ceiling, listening to the quiet hum of the world outside. Cars passed in the distance, birds chirped, and somewhere a new day had begun. Yet inside him, it felt like the same old day, repeating again and again. Arav sat up and rubbed his face. As he swung his legs off the bed, he felt that familiar weight on his shoulders, the invisible backpack he carried everywhere. It wasn't something anyone else could see, but he felt it every time he tried to move forward. It was filled with regrets, mistakes, missed chances, words he never said, and decisions he wished he could undo. Every failure he had experienced had gone into that backpack, carefully packed by his own mind. As he got ready for the day, brushing his teeth and pulling on a simple shirt, his thoughts wandered back to moments he hated remembering. The college exam he failed because he procrastinated, the opportunity he didn't take because he was afraid, the friendship he lost because of pride. Each memory felt like a stone added to that invisible backpack. He wondered how other people his age seemed to move so easily through life, laughing, dreaming, chasing goals, while he felt slow, tired, and stuck. Arav stepped outside and began walking toward the bus stop. The morning air was cool, but his shoulders felt warm and tense. With every step, his mind replayed old scenes like a broken movie reel. If only I had studied harder. If only I had spoken up. If only I had been braver. These thoughts followed him like shadows, whispering that he was already behind, already too late. On the bus, he sat by the window, watching the city move past him. People hurried on sidewalks, some smiling, some stressed, some lost in their phones. Arav wondered how many of them carried invisible backpacks like his. He imagined everyone wearing one, filled with their own regrets and fears. The thought made him feel slightly less alone, but the weight on his shoulders remained. At work, Arav tried to focus, but his mind kept drifting. His job wasn't bad, but it wasn't what he dreamed of either. He had once imagined doing something meaningful, something that would make him proud. But those dreams now felt distant, buried under the weight he carried. Whenever his manager spoke about growth or future opportunities, Arav felt a knot in his stomach. He believed his past mistakes had already decided his future. During lunch break, Arav sat alone on a bench outside the building. He watched the clouds slowly drifting across the sky and wondered why they looked so free. They didn't seem to carry anything. They simply moved, changing shape, letting go of what they were a moment ago. He sighed, wishing life could be that simple. That afternoon, something unexpected happened. Arav was asked to deliver some documents to another office across town. It wasn't a big task, but it meant walking through an unfamiliar part of the city. As he walked, he noticed a small park he had never seen before. It wasn't crowded, just a few people scattered around, sitting quietly or walking slowly. Something about the calmness pulled him in, and he decided to take a short break. He sat on a bench beneath a large tree whose branches stretched wide, offering shade. Nearby, an elderly man was feeding birds. The man moved slowly, but his face looked peaceful. After a while, the man glanced at Arav and smiled warmly. "You look tired," the old man said gently. Arav was surprised but nodded. "I guess I am," he replied. The old man chuckled softly. "Long walk? Something like that?" Arav said. He hesitated, then added, "It's not just today. I feel tired all the time." The old man nodded as if he understood. "Invisible backpacks can be very heavy." Arav froze. "What did you say?" The man smiled again. "The things we carry inside us. Regrets, guilt, fear. They weigh more than any bag you can see." Arav felt a strange chill. "How do you know about that?" "I carried one for most of my life," the man said calmly. "So heavy that I forgot what it felt like to walk freely." Arav leaned forward, suddenly interested. "What happened?" The old man tossed a few more crumbs to the birds and sat down beside him. "I spent years blaming myself for choices I made when I was young. I kept replaying them in my head, thinking that if I punished myself enough, somehow things would change. But the past doesn't change. Only the present does." Arav stared at the ground. "I feel like my past has already ruined my future." "That's what the backpack wants you to believe," the man replied. "It grows heavier the more attention you give it." Arav swallowed. "So how did you get rid of yours?" The man smiled thoughtfully. "I didn't throw it away all at once. I started by opening it," Arav asked. Yes, the man said. I looked at every regret one by one and asked myself what it was teaching me. Not what it took from me, but what it gave me. Arav frowned. Some mistakes don't give anything. They always do, the man said gently. Even pain has lessons. The problem is, we keep carrying the pain but forget the lesson. Those words stayed with Aro long after he left the park. As he walked back toward his office, he imagined his invisible backpack. For the first time, he didn't see it as a punishment, but as something he could examine. That evening, when he returned home, he sat on his bed and closed his eyes. He imagined unzipping the backpack. Inside, he saw memories instead of stones. The failed exam, the missed opportunity, the broken friendship. His chest tightened as he looked at them, but he didn't push them away. He asked himself the question the old man had suggested. What did this teach me? The failed exam taught him discipline mattered more than talent. The missed opportunity taught him that fear could be more painful than failure. The broken friendship taught him the value of humility and honest communication. As he acknowledged these lessons, something strange happened. The memories felt a little lighter, as if they had lost some of their weight. Over the next few days, Arif continued this practice. Every time a regret surfaced, he paused and searched for the lesson hidden within it. He realized that most of his pain came not from what happened, but from how long he had been holding on to it. Slowly, the invisible backpack began to feel less crushing. One morning while getting ready for work, Arav noticed something new. He felt lighter not because his problems had disappeared, but because they no longer controlled him. He still remembered his past, but it no longer defined him. He began setting small goals for himself, simple steps forward instead of overwhelming plans. At work, he spoke up more, even when his voice trembled. He signed up for an online course he had once been too afraid to try. He reached out to an old friend with a simple message, "I'm sorry. I hope you're doing well." Some things didn't work out perfectly, but this time, he didn't add them to the backpack. He took the lesson and left the rest behind. Weeks turned into months. Arav still carried the invisible backpack, but now it was almost empty. He had learned that success wasn't about running faster than everyone else. It was about traveling lighter. While others rushed forward, dragging the weight of their past, he moved steadily, unburdened, focused on what he could do today.